Happened right at the Medical Court Center apartment complex, which is right across the street from Receiving Hospital. And guys, this has been a long-standing issue or complaint or set of allegations regarding parking in tow trucks.
Look, that's the last day y'all working over here. It's the last day y'all working over here.
Community organizers confront a towing company. New Era Detroit and rapper Trick say enough is enough. They confronted Goch and Sons Towing at the Medical Center Court Apartments near Detroit Receiving Hospital Friday, accusing them of predatory practices and illegally towing vehicles. In this case, they say a woman leaving the hospital was on the verge of being towed while in the 15-minute grace period.
That's the reason that we actually pulled up and confronted them was because we caught them spotting red-handed. The sister wasn't out of her car for more than 10 minutes before the tow truck, which was waiting around here, got the call and pulled right up immediately.
Zeke from New Era Detroit says they've been watching the towing company for some time now. He took his concerns to City Council Tuesday, where Goch and Sons has a contract on the line. These sorts of allegations have dogged the towing company for years now. But Goch and Sons says there are signs at the apartment complex warning cars parked there without a permit will be towed. The company released a statement saying, in part, "We understand that the towing of illegally parked vehicles at the medical center courts will always be a hot topic of debate. We have often heard the complaint that we tow single mothers, the elderly, and veterans, or purely based on race. The reality is that we tow 100% of the vehicle owners that choose to disrespect the single mothers, the elderly, the veterans, or every other resident or permitted guest of the medical center court apartments. If visitors to the Detroit Medical Center Hospital correctly use the free covered parking for the facility, the medical center courts would not have to contractually obtain a towing company in order to provide accessible and plentiful parking for their residents." Goch and Sons says it was appalled by the actions of New Era Detroit and claims they brandish guns to threaten and intimidate their employees.
One thing I don't play with is firearms. We have never brandished a firearm at anybody. We definitely pulled up on them to have a conversation about the practices that's been going on, the intimidation.
As for Goch and Sons' contract with the city,
we have already held the contract in committee. I do have a memo that I submitted with several questions, and so we're looking into the practices and what we can do as a council to ensure that they are properly towing vehicles and not illegally doing things within the Detroit Medical Center.
Now, guys, part of the issue here is the parking here at Detroit Receiving Hospital, or many would argue the lack thereof. A spokesman acknowledged that there are times when parking can be limited here when they have a high volume of patients and visitors. But in those events, they want to remind people that you can also park at 5 other structures here within the DMC complex when you're visiting someone or taking care of anything here at the one of the hospitals in the DMC campus. Roop, Taryn?
Yeah, Randy, often when people are heading to the hospital, they're already frenzied trying to check on family. This is really tough. Detroit recently, though, revamped its towing rules to try to curb some of these predatory practices, if that's what this is. Talk a little about that. How does that play into this?
Well, yeah, that went into effect or went down around this time last year, and some of the rules that they changed, 3 of them in particular that were particularly noteworthy, is that police authorized towing companies have to accept payments with credit cards as well as cash. Tow companies removing vehicles from private property, like in this case, they have to reach out to DPD first, and in that situation Friday, it appears that did not happen. Lastly, police authorized towers must disconnect a vehicle from a tow truck if the owner arrives on the scene and pays a service fee. So some things to keep in mind when you think about the towing situation in Detroit and those new rules which were put into place around this time last year.
Yeah, you have to know your rights for sure. Randy Wimbley for us live. Thank you.